Welcome to the Squared Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast. And here are your hosts, the Hot Pockets impresario, Johnny Bottles, and the neckbeard psychologist, Dr. Don Wayne. Greetings, wrestling fans. Welcome to the
Happy
Squared
Sunday.
Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast.
I like it so much
And
I'm playing it again.
You all right?
I think so, Don.
You sure?
I think so. I was just playing it again, pal. I like it so
Good
much.
Lord. Well, welcome to the show. Thank you guys on a Sunday. There's a few things we're going to talk about today. I think Bottles is out to lunch. I'm not sure what the hell's going on in his world. He steps outside for 5 minutes and he's lost his shit.
Completely. A lot going on, Don. A lot of talk. San Diego Comic-Con was this weekend, and it generated a lot of talk. A lot of speculation and conjecture, if you will, with the neckbeard community. And since you are a caseworker in the neckbeard community, you lend people a free helping hand on Twitter to set their minds straight about where their perceptions are in professional wrestling and professional wrestling companies. What do you make of AEW being at San Diego Comic-Con with Adult Swim branding all over them?
Well, hold on. Now there's two different things here that you're talking about there, see?
Yes.
There's two things. There's two different
Yes.
things to interject there. That's sort of the whole point of this show today from what we saw. Because you saw it on Saturday, it got so hot and bothered, you were like, we're doing a show Sunday. This got in your skin.
Damn right.
Got in your skin. Folks, Johnny Bottles was so excited about this because he saw all the banners and shit going off. The bells were going off. So here's the thing. They did Comic-Con, no big deal. Everybody goes to Comic-Con. The WWE had their people there.
Mm-hmm.
AEW had their people there.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest difference was AEW was working hand in hand with Cartoon Network, and specifically the Adult Swim brand of the company. So we started doing some digging, and you reached out to some folks, and well, I'm not saying that we're saying this is happening, but we were told that there's a possibility they could be moving to Cartoon Network on this new deal to stay with Time Warner, and the pay-per-views could be moving to the streaming network that is Max. If you're not aware right now, Warner Brothers Discovery, or whatever the hell you want to call that conglomerate of a show, was a complete and total mess. The stock is in the shitter. They just lost out on the NBA. They're suing the NBA because the NBA said, thanks, but no thanks. We don't want you to match the offer that Amazon made us. We're going to go ahead and go in a different direction. We talked about this on the previous show. Cable is dying. It's going to, in the next decade, I would almost be willing to bet all of these TBSs and TNTs type shows will be put into a similar streaming service network. Cable is coming to its knees. Now the question and the rumor is AEW is headed to Cartoon Network.
Do you know what the big thing is now in the streaming business? I'll use that for lack of a better term. Home 5G internet. T-Mobile and Verizon are really cranking it up with the home 5G internet, and you can bundle 4 services together for $10 a service. They've got Disney Plus, Max, Paramount Plus, and Showtime bundled together for $10 a piece.
I'll be right back, Larry. I'll be right back. Apparently I have choppy auto. Keep going.
So that's what you're looking at there with 5G home internet. Problem is the max speed's 300 megabits per second. And I like a gig. I like the fiber optic. I love a gig. When we saw all the branding that was all over San Diego Comic-Con hand in hand with AEW, we just thought, well, I thought especially when I saw it, that the wrestling Adult Swim cartoon characters, Johnny TV, or John Morrison as he used to be known, is wrestling freaking Meatwad from the Aqua Teen Hunger Force. What is going on with all that? What is happening with all this? I don't understand it. Why their AES branding is all over side by side in a ring and on posters. And when I'll show you a couple of, let me see if I can pull it up for you right here.
Do I sound choppy now? Am I sounding any better? How are we doing?
Were you choppy before?
That's what the chat was saying, was that I was sounding choppy, so I'm just coming in to test it out real quick. And if I'm not, then we'll keep going.
Choppy like a Minoru Suzuki match.
I hope the hell not. But yeah, so the thing is that Cartoon Network is owned by TNT, or it's part of, the Warner Brothers brand. It's all under the same umbrella. It's just odd that they would leave out of there and go to this channel of all things. And then I got to thinking about this, Bottles. And I want you to go down this with me here. You want to talk about Battle of the Booty? Go ahead. Go right ahead. Talk about Battle for the Booty.
They even made a belt for this, Don. A Battle for the Booty belt. Johnny TV and Taya Valkyrie versus Fang and Meatwad. Willow and Orange Cassidy versus Mr. Frog and Rachel, whoever those two characters are. I have no idea. Willow Nightingale and Orange Cassidy won. They've got the Battle for the Booty belt.
This is a real company. This is a real wrestling company. There's Meatwad in a match. Meatwad is in a match. Yeah. I thought I had seen the worst of it when the WWE had that god-awful zombie thing go down a couple of years ago under the Vince McMahon, I'm losing my mind era. That was when I had completely stopped watching it. I said, I'm glad I'm not watching that shit anymore. This is just a shame, man. This is a shame.
It wasn't just Meatwad. I mean, they had Rick from Rick and Morty actually wrestle a match. Good Lord Almighty. Let me show a few of these.
The heel turn. What is this? Power up?
No one can hear you, Bottles, when you throw that up because it mutes you automatically.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Well, all I said was there's Meatwad. Meatwad and Johnny TV.
What number should we call? 2981.
It's all over. No, I mean, Adult Swim, Brandy was all over AEW like a cheap suit at the San Diego Comic-Con. Now, why would they do that, Don? Why would they do that and not just a regular panel like what they did at Comic-Con in a hall where the fans are sitting in steel chairs all around them, and they've got a panel full of wrestlers. They're talking about what their plans going forward are, what Wembley Stadium show is going to be like, what the TV shows are going to be like. Why wouldn't they just do that and have TBS TNT all over their branding? No, they've got Adult Swim on their branding, which they've never had before. And my theory is, I say it may happen before the end of the year. Don says no. 2025 is part of their new deal. They're going to be on Adult Swim. Adult Swim used to come on, I believe, at 10 o'clock at night. Bless you. Adult Swim used to come on at 10 o'clock at night. That's when it would start on the Cartoon Network with their spate of adult-themed shows. Family Guy, American Dad. What's that?
Mainly cartoons. Almost all of them were.
Mainly cartoons. But no, you had Tim and Eric's...
well, you had some, that's what I'm saying, but it was mainly cartoons.
Mainly cartoons.
Space Ghost, Coast to Coast, Bird Lawyer.
What Harvey Birdman, attorney at law. Right. But they did have Eric Andre's show. They did have, I hardly ever watched any of that stuff. Yes. They had a few different live shows for a half hour, 15 minutes. They were big on the 15-minute format for the live shows. But they expanded that because it's so popular. They expanded it to 8 o'clock at night is when it starts.
And they're starting to advertise the shit out of that, might I add. I've seen more commercials for that going to 8 o'clock now than I can remember seeing in the past year combined. Suddenly, I'm getting inundated with Adult Swim starting at 8 p.m. You also have this shit going on with AEW branding being all over the place with this Adult Swim.
Yes.
And I'm just going to go ahead and say this much from a marketing department. A lot of the AEW freakazoids, I'm not saying all wrestling fans, but the AEW weirdos, the ones that think there's no other company in the world, the ones that if you say one bad thing about a match, like it went too long or they should have done so many flips, they completely come unglued. These are the same dorks that are staying up to watch all the Japanime shit that comes on that television station every night. That's right in their wheelhouse. So now what they're doing is they're taking this whole little ball of this little fan base, right? And they're shrinking it even more. Instead of trying to expand to a larger fan base, instead of trying to expand and grow with the casual wrestling fan, it looks like they have decided to double down and say, that's it. We're just going after our core audience. That's how this felt to me from a marketing standpoint, because the WWE, and I want to talk about the CM Punk thing a little while, the WWE was also at Comic-Con.
Yes.
And they weren't pushing any kind of agenda for a network. They were there to push their product, to push their show, to push what they're doing as a company. Whereas the AEW platform seemed like it was really on board with trying to make a possible jump to Cartoon Network palatable for their fan base. That's just how it came out to me, because once you started reading some of it and started hearing back from some folks, there was rumblings this might actually be happening. Please continue, Meatwad.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the AEW presentation from San Diego Comic-Con. Don't they look great? What is that man on?
I have no idea.
What have they both ingested on this weekend, Saturday, from San Diego Comic-Con? He probably said, Ospreay probably said, bruv, you want me to wrestle who? A meatwad? You want me to wrestle a meatwad? Bruh, I didn't sign up for this. Okay, we'll make Johnny TV do it. Thank you.
I got no great in that picture. By the way, thank you all for watching today on Sunday. Please like and subscribe on the program. Hit the ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling. Super chat's open. If you've heard anything, because I'm dying to know now who else has heard something about this contract, this imminent contract with AEW.
This is all our theory. This is just
getting close to the midnight hour. I mean, WWE had a whole year of contracts. Yes.
Supposedly they AEW was given a take it or leave it deal from Warner Brothers Discovery. Can you hear me?
And
I'm just saying, supposedly that's what they were given. Take it. This is what the offer is. Take it or leave it. And it was a 3-hour Dynamite and a 1-hour Collision. Rampage is gone. That's it. And I think it was $60 million a year. That was all for the 2 shows. So he might figure, he might have shopped it around and, through a third party, through an agent or a lawyer, and they said, look, we can't get anything for this. You might as well just take the Warner Brothers Discovery deal. As we always said, Dodd, when there's a mass layoff at AEW,
you'll know the contract's coming.
You'll know the contract. They signed the contract, and it's for less than they wanted, and they're just going to go ahead and get rid of all that. They get rid of all the people that they can't use. And you're starting to see that, people that have not been seen on TV for a long time, and they won't return. So
I just want to leave it on this, is that I'm not so sold that it's going there, but it's fun to have conjecture and talk about it, because wouldn't that be the sweet spot for these neckbeards that live and die by this shit, that I don't even have to change the channel anymore. I'm going to be here all week. I'm going to watch my Pokemon shit. I'm going to watch my Japanime shit. I got Meatwad coming on later. I got my AEW shit coming on. Hell, this is a butt butter of a program. I love it. That's where they'll be, sitting here, sucking down the Mountain Dew, eating on the Cheetos. They have now found their home, and they will never leave the channel ever again. Ever again.
Tony Khan, if you're watching this show, book the Venture Brothers as tag team champs against the Young Bucks. Venture Brothers against the Young Bucks.
Book. That was a quality program, by the way. And don't get me wrong.
That was a great show.
I like some of the programming on Adult Swim. But
Venture Brothers,
if WWE moved to goddamn Adult Swim, Can you imagine how much of a downgrade this would be?
They would never. Well, number one, it's WWE, the name in professional wrestling, televised professional wrestling at WWE. It would never be on Adult Swim, only as a lark. They might put the WWE Speed Show on Adult Swim, a 3-minute show between shows. They might do that if asked, if Warner Brothers Discovery would actually pay the money. But this guy, who I got to turn this picture off. I love that picture. Jesus, God Almighty. Woo. I had to do away with that. That was horrendous.
But you know, that wasn't the only news coming out of the Comic-Con this weekend.
Well,
Robert Downey Jr.
I know where you're going. Before you go on with that, if you guys who are watching this at any point in time, whether in the live chat, an hour from now, 2 hours, 3 days from now, put what you've heard in the comments. This is just us spitballing right now, where we think that it looks like it's going to go. Put it in the comments. Let us know what you guys think out there. As viewers and as wrestling fans, what do you think the future of AEW is going to be? And don't say, oh, they don't have to pay $1.8 billion to the NBA. So they got the money to give all that to AEW. AEW's not getting that. This company, Warner Brothers Discovery, is barely afloat. It's barely keeping afloat.
It's a $7 stock.
$7 stock is ruined. The company is ruined. And I won't say it's ruined by David Zaslav, the head guy, but he only knows about reality TV. He only knows about reality programming. It's cheap to do. It's fast to produce. And I guess you could count AEW as reality TV to a certain extent. It's a hybrid of reality TV and episodic television when they do have storylines. Let us know what you guys think. Go ahead, Don.
I just want to say this real quick about the other big news that came out of Comic-Con.
Oh, for God's sakes. It's not what I think it is.
I'm not going to spend a 10-minute diatribe on this. But Robert Downey Jr. is apparently reprising a role in the Marvel Universe, and he is going to be Doom because it's going to be in an alternate timeline. Yes, Dr. Doom, or whatever it is. So, again, I can see – I look, man, because right now Marvel sucks. That whole thing is dead. And instead of rebooting it all, they're trying to find another way to just, okay, we'll put Robert Downey back in it. He's a big star. They have done they've taken a great idea, great concept in the Marvel Universe and completely ruined it. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm not a big fan of the idea. I don't like where they're going with it. I haven't liked the last several movies that they've done. I thought they were god-awful. I think the last really good one I liked was the last Spider-Man movie. I thought that was good. Mm-hmm. But that's when they started getting way crazy in the multiverse, so I'm out now. That's all I'm going to say.
Have you seen Deadpool and Wolverine?
No, I'm not. I know you have.
What a movie. What a movie. It's everything you would think it is. $420 million worldwide is what it's made so far. Worldwide, Deadpool and Wolverine. And it's absolutely fantastic. And I'm not going to give any spoilers. It's worth seeing for all the great spoilers of other stars that float in and out through that movie. And the comedy is pretty funny too, actually. Deadpool and Wolverine. They spent all the money on this.
I will eventually see it. I will buy it when it comes out on Amazon. That's sort of my thing now. My son has made the declaration in the Don Wayne manner that we will no longer be going to cinemas. He doesn't like the fact that he feels like he has to run to go piss. And he's going to miss something in the show. He doesn't like people getting on their phones. He doesn't like the fact that you can't pause it if you want to get another drink. So my son has set the rules, and I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. My son's got a lot of rules, pal. He's got a lot of rules.
Good Lord. How would he make out in the 1970s? He'd probably kill himself in the 1970s. No pause, none of that.
There's going to be a pause moment or he's going to lose his shit. I also wanted to talk about SmackDown bottles. Did you watch SmackDown yet?
Dude, I watched SmackDown. It was, for me, it was uneventful. It was a placeholder show until next weekend when shit goes down before the pay-per-view. That's all I can say.
He says it's a place. Well, here's the thing. All of the major stars are in Japan right now. So that's sort of where they're at, is like all the major stars are in Japan and all of the leftovers were sort of here for this. the bloodline's here because half those guys got a damn record. They can't leave the country. They had to work like hell to get in the damn Canada for that one show.
Right. Jacob Fatu.
Jacob Fatu. So they're not going to be going a whole lot of places. I was excited about it. I didn't think it was terrible as far as placeholders go, but I did want to talk about it a little bit. The bloodline let off, and apparently Tongaloa is going to be on the next Pirates of the Caribbean because he's got a pirate patch on. And I didn't watch last week. Like I said, I just saw the highlights. When I saw he is on the Pirates of the Caribbean, I said, okay, this is getting weird now. And they finally announced because he had a bad eye, he couldn't wrestle, so they were out of the tournament. Well, now I got excited because they said Jacob Fatu is going to wrestle in his place. I have been waiting to see this guy in a match. How did that not pique your interest right away?
It upped the ante right away. I thought that was a great match. The rest of the mid-card, the lower card, tag team tournament was just a snoozerama for me. I mean, when they brought out what are those guys?
Hold on, I'm going to get there. Just try to get your initial. When you heard Jacob Fatu was going to wrestle, did you not go, oh, hell yeah, this is going to be great? I'm finally going to see this guy. I've heard about his work. I've never seen him live. This might be some exciting shit here. This might be it. It was.
He hasn't really cut loose completely, but the guy is smooth. The guy is strong. The guy's rough. He looks like a psychopath. I'm wondering, Don, when he stands there behind Solo with his hands like this, much like Heyman used to, what's that all about?
I don't know.
You have any theories on that? Is that significant of anything? Is that foretelling something?
Well, I think he's just paying homage to the
tribal
chosen one, to the tribal chief.
Yes.
Denisha says, Donna Bottles, I haven't seen Soraya on Dynamite ever since Mercedes came in the AEW, and she's not going to London at All In. When she was the champion there. Hope she leaves AEW. Mercedes is TK's new toy. Soraya had a little bit of a run, about a month ago, maybe a month and a half? She was
with that girl, Harley Cameron. Yes, they were tag teaming, and she would accompany Harley to her matches and vice versa. Tony's got ADHD bad, and he can only concentrate on a couple shiny new toys. And Mercedes right now is a shiny new toy. And Camille right away, she's paired up with the other shiny new toy.
Yes.
So we'll see how that goes.
But that's a great point because she was all over the Saturday and the Wednesday show for a month. And now suddenly she's just disappeared and fallen off the face of the earth again. Like, I didn't see her on Collision if she was on. I didn't see any highlights from her on there. I did see some highlights from Collision that I want to talk about.
When you look in your book of the Encyclopedia of Missing Wrestlers, you go to P. Perazzo Snooki.
Another one that's just gone missing. MIA.
She's not gone. She's on Rampage and Collision. Whatever he gets bored with, she's gone completely. She almost got her melon squashed by Willow Nightingale, by the way. We talked about that earlier today.
FBI could put witnesses on Collision.
Full-blooded
no one would ever know they were there. No one would ever know that they're there. They'd be hiding in plain sight. Yes, they'd be hiding in plain sight. Not a clue they're on. Put them on Rampage or Collision. You never know it.
Yes.
Thank you, Denisha, by the way, so very much.
Snooki Perazzo has vanished. Vanished completely. Folks, we're trying to make it to 1,000 subscribers. Please hit like and subscribe. And when you hit like, it moves us along the YouTube algorithm so you can find this freaking channel and listen to his bitch about professional wrestling and see the likes of Beer Man and Paulie Metal and Fallen Footwear. And I used to wear Fallen Footwear when I had Fallen Arches. And Block Larry and Denisha. You get to see all those people and interact with them when you subscribe to the channel, get into the chat room. Friendly people, great folks. God bless them all. Give us some ring-a-ling with the ding-a-ling so you know when we're going to do a pop-up show like this. It's like a pop-up Kendrick Lamar concert. Go ahead, Don. What do you got?
I got LA Knight, and I thought this was a really cool segment. Did you enjoy this segment and how they got him to the ring? He was cutting a promo, Well,
Great.
no, hold on.
It was fantastic.
He was cutting a promo on the way to the gorilla position. He wasn't even in the gorilla position. He was walking to it, cutting this promo. Absolute money. And when he gets to the gorilla position, he looks at her and says, "Hit my music." Yeah. And walks out. I thought it was cool as shit, man. They're doing
when he did everybody's saying it. L.A. Knight. The whole crowd heard him and chanted along. Everything he did, the crowd popped for when he wasn't even out there. More of this, more L.A. Knight. The guy's a superstar. I hope he wins his U.S. title at SummerSlam.
More production like this, more out of the box thinking, more of what we haven't seen before instead of just standing there and delivering your lines. I thought this was innovative as hell. I was like, all right, I'm going to watch this match. I'm going to see who he's wrestling. He's wrestling Santos Escobar, who came out with the jugs machine. That's what I wrote down in my notes. He had a walking jugs machine walk out with him. I have no idea who this young lady was. I don't know that I've ever seen her, but if she comes around the corner really fast, she will knock you the hell out if you're not paying attention.
That's Elektra Lopez, pal. She's a walking McDonald's shake machine, and they never work either. So she just stands there outside the ring.
Well, that's about all she did. That's about all she had to do because she definitely had some attention. She's
some attention for what? What's she attention for?
She's got some assets, pal. She does, pal.
Yes, sir.
Lord have mercy.
You think her big? Like Ric Flair said, I'm barely holding these alligators down.
Dude, I've never seen this before. I was like, what the hell? They could have, like, there's not having clothes and there's not having clothes. And this chick was barely dressed from the waist up.
Back in the day, I saw her when she was NXT. She had a match with B-Fab. B-Fab is the red-haired, dreadlock young lady who comes out with the Street Profits. They had one of the worst matches that I've ever seen in professional wrestling. It put the Britt Baker Mercedes Moné match on the Britt Baker Hikaru Shida match and made that look like Lou Thesz versus Dory Funk. That's how bad their match was at NXT. It was horrendous. And you would see that match. I tell you what, later in the night, go on YouTube and look up B-Fab, Elektra Lopez NXT, and you'll see that match. It's Jugs Machine. You'll see that. She's just a Jugs Machine.
Dude.
What was that song about the Miracles from the 70s? She's just a Jugs Machine.
You
go look that up, pal, and it is just a drizzling shit. I couldn't wait for it to be over. But I said, I can't believe they're putting this on live TV. This cannot be on live television. It's so horrible. Go ahead, Don.
We are. Well, this whole match went well. I didn't hate it. LA Knight won, of course. And then here's what got my attention. Paul came out of nowhere. I didn't see Paul Logan coming. They didn't do the whole here he comes. It was out of nowhere. He jumps in and starts kicking the shit out of LA Knight. LA Knight starts coming back on him. Escobar gets up. We got a little heel teamwork here, and they beat the shit out of LA Knight. I thought that was nice. That the heels were working together, even though they're not together. It was like, hey, I'll help you out. Let's beat his ass. I don't like this guy either. So I was good with that. I thought it was a good segment. It's setting up the SummerSlam match. They were talking about SummerSlam left and right on this thing. They were pushing it. Pushing it hard like that boxing match is coming up. Pushing that hard, too. Great cross-promotion, by the way. There was some shit. I've got that written down, too, to talk about. They had the Davenport and Naomi recap, the attack that Davenport put on Naomi. I guess they're setting up a match somewhere down the line. I don't know when that's going to be. Probably the September pay-per-view, I'd imagine. I can't imagine they're going to put this on the SummerSlam card. Pre-show, SummerSlam. Pre-show, I bet. I don't know. That seems kind of quick for a turnaround like that. That'd just be in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? They got to have something for that September show. It's 1 week, pal. All right. We'll see. Jade and Bianca Belair came out, by the way, while this was all going on. They're coming to the ring. They go back. Logan Paul, he gives his, Paul Logan, he gives, Logan Paul. Paul Logan? Gives his, Hogan Paul, that's the other brother. Jake, Paul's the other Logan, brother, and yes. Hogan. Yes. And then you got Curly Paul. You got to watch out for him. Either way, Paul. Logan cuts an interview. He says Mr. Cleveland is going to be giving him something at SummerSlam. He's got a special gift for him. Did you catch that? Yes, it's Meatwad. I quit. Who is Mr. Cleveland?
Break out the Stimulax.
I'm dead serious. Who the hell is Mr. Cleveland?
I don't fucking know. How do I know? I have no idea. Mr. Cleveland. I don't know. Grover Cleveland? That's the only Cleveland I know.
All right, look. They've had Drew Carey on this show before, right?
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, that's what I'm
he's
saying.
a Hall of Famer.
He is a very famous Clevelander. Is there any chance Drew Carey is showing up? Or is it Jerry Lawler showing up?
No, they wouldn't trot Lawler out.
Not as Mr. Cleveland, you don't think? I don't think either, but I know he's a huge.
They associate him with Nashville, Tennessee. Or no,
well,
Memphis, Tennessee. Yeah.
Yes, I know, but he is a humongous. Like I've been racking my brain over who this could be. I can't imagine it's going to be somebody we have no idea. I've looked up Mr. Cleveland. It's not out there. You're never going to find it. I've already Googled it.
Just get ready to Google it.
I've already Googled the shit out of it. I couldn't find anything on it. The only thing I could get was LeBron James, and I know he's not showing up. I had Lawler, and I've got Numbnuts from The Price is Right, Drew Carey. That's all I got, man. I got nothing else.
Who could it be? Who could it be?
That's what I got to, come back to. That's what I got it circled down to is those. You got anything? You're not going to find it in Google. I've already looked it up.
Hell, I'm typing.
There's a guy in Instagram called Mr. Cleveland. I know that son of a bitch, ain't it?
That's it.
Oh my God.
That's it.
Okay. I'm moving on. I was just wondering.
He's a social media. He's a social media mogul. Logan Paul.
He has 3,000 followers.
Who?
Mr. Cleveland.
I'm talking about Logan Paul. So
Ricky
if he's trying to bring in this guy, he might be Ricky Vaughn. He's trying to bring in. He's trying to bring in Mr. Cleveland.
Anyway, I'm moving on. Jade and Bianca come out. Jade comes out first. They're talking shit. They want their titles back. They get jumped from behind. Next thing you know, they chuck the champions out of the ring. Do you think anything of this? Is that all you saw as well? Thank you, Larry, by the way. I hope it's Ricky Vaughn. That'd be cool. Get some Tiger blood.
I think it was a waste of the two Scottish girls. And if they got punked out this week in professional wrestling, that means Jade and Bianca will lose the SummerSlam match because they beat up the champs.
I don't understand what's happening with the women's tag titles right now. I don't get it.
It's like it's a limbo. It's like it's a limbo right now. They're really, I don't know what it is, because of the accents. They wouldn't pull the trigger and have these girls featured in matches on Raw or on SmackDown or NXT.
No, I haven't seen them at all since they won them.
No, you haven't. You haven't. Only in backstage segments and shit like this. So I just hope they give them a shake because they're both great wrestlers. They really are. The Scottish girls are really good wrestlers. So
I knew you were talking about Jade, so you didn't need to worry about that.
Jade's functional. She's functional.
Dude,
she's
right
better
now,
than Britt Baker, Don. She's better than Britt Baker.
Look, dude. Britt Baker's not good. I mean, oh shit, don't fall. Don't fall on my head.
She's better than Willow Nightingale.
I don't think Willow's terrible. I really don't. I think
she's not terrible, but she's better than Willow Nightingale. I mean, Jade Cargill's never pissed in the ring or dropped anybody on their head.
You can't prove that in court.
We're going to have to get some video footage of this. Where's the Brooder when you really need him? Where's the Brooder?
Anyway, this happened. They also advertised the new A&E shows coming up for WWE that we need to start recording. They got some new biographies coming on. They got one on $1 Million Man coming up. So I've got that set on my DVR. I also need to watch I need to watch the one on the his was last week. I need to watch the one on the Steiner Brothers. I recorded that 3 or 4 weeks ago and I still haven't watched it. I'm very curious to see how that went down because the Steiner Brothers were notorious for being some real hard practical jokers, man. Like duct taping people in chairs and shit. Like they were harsh.
Dude, they would duct tape people to gurneys and shit. And they would do things. They were threatening to do things with pencils. That's all I can say. They would pull a wrestler's pants down and tape them down onto a gurney and threaten to stick a pencil somewhere.
Speaking of Steiners, let's put a pin in SmackDown real quick, since we're talking about them, and I'm going to watch this show. Did you see Scott Steiner's latest comments that AEW has got to stop doing matches just to have matches? They've got to have good storylines. To which the Neckbeards don't want to hear it. Not really. I've already seen it a couple times. I'm just trying to summarize what.
No, I was going to put it out there for the people.
Essentially, he said you can't just have matches to have matches. You need to have good storylines. Good storylines are what draw the fans. To which the AEW crowd responded, there are great storylines in AEW. You guys just don't know about them. Okay.
Don, give me 5 storylines from AEW.
Okay.
That are
I could give you a couple, okay? The Cowboy shit and the champion Swerve, they do have a history. That one I know about, right? And
that's
was a
played out. That's a long running thread.
And it's been good. And it's been good.
Yes.
I'm starting to get so apparently there's also the Bucks. They have a long history of with FTR.
Don't say that. Oh, okay.
That's starting to get relit. Like that seems like it's about to happen again. I don't know why. I don't know what Bryan Danielson, what his story is right now, other than this is my last year wrestling. And I get a shot at the title. Like to me, that's not a story. That's just sort of, we're having matches to have matches at that point in time. Right? Like, I don't get that. I don't know who the hell Darby Allin is mad at anymore. I don't get that at all. He's sort of just waffling out in the distance.
He's wandering. He's just floating. Yes, he's floating.
I don't understand the trios anymore. Like that, I didn't even know Christian's group had won those titles. Neither did you. It's just they showed up and they had them. So I don't even know who they're feuding with anymore. The Dark Dudes, I don't know what's the hell, House of Black. Is that them? Yeah, I don't know where the hell they are. They've just disappeared again. I don't know what they're supposed to be doing. So when you think about it, like the in-depth storylines, I don't understand. Like, why is Darby Allin mad at Jack Perry? What am I missing there? I don't get that.
I'm not sure. Don't know. I mean, we watch Dynamite every week because we review it here. And I just don't understand it. You left off Tony Storm, Mariah May. That's like one of the longest runs.
They have a good storyline.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
But again, it doesn't make any sense because, I mean, they've got a storyline, but she just turned on her. Just bam, bitch. Now I'm turning on you. There was no lead up to it. There was no thought process. It was just
no signal
on you now.
No inkling. Nothing like that. No, just boom.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, those are about all the storylines I can think of. And you name one. So again, I'm going to watch it this week and make sure I write down storyline and then put it out there when I see what come across. I'm just going to. Like when I think about the WWE, I don't have to think about it. Logan Paul and LA Knight, they've been feuding now for months. He's been trying to get a title shot. The Bloodline's been feuding with Cody Rhodes ever since he walked into the company, it seems. Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, they've been feuding for 8 months now. They've been all involved some way or another with each other. Gunther's been coming after the champion Damian Priest since he won the opportunity. He's been calling him out ever since he won King of the Ring. So these are storylines that follow. These are tracking not just for a couple of weeks, but for months, and in some cases half a year. The longest one in AEW by far to me is the Cowboy shit and Swerve Strickland. That's the longest running.
It really is. It really is. Yeah,
that's coming up on close to a year now, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that one I do enjoy. It just I can't stand the Cowboy, so it is what it is.
That's a tough watch. The Cowboys promos. That's a tough watch. He's good in the ring, but the promos are tough. I didn't like the blood drinking, but if that's your cup of tea, it is what it is, pal.
I don't know how you can like the blood drinking. It's just
no, it's not good.
It's trash. Anyway, back to SmackDown. Terrence Crawford is seen in the back with the Street Profits. So they had a moment. You can tell they're building up the Terrence Crawford thing. He's there to promote his fight. Pound for pound, best in the world. I didn't mind this at all. Tiffany's briefcase is shot to shit. I thought that was funny. She looks all sad about it. She says she wants revenge on Bayley. And then the refrigerator shows up, Nia Jax.
Yes.
She ruins everything she's involved in. Every fucking thing she's involved in, she ruins it. I can't deal with her anymore. There's nothing about her.
Her voice? Is it her voice? Maybe her voice is just awful.
It's just everything about it sucks. It's the in-ring work. It's the promos. It's everything. It's everything. Ugh.
The women's division could always use a Big John stud, okay? And that's what Nia Jax is to the women's division. They're Big John stud. And it is what it is.
Stud could work.
Well, she's better than what she used to be, pal. That's all I can say.
That ain't saying much, buddy.
It's not saying much, but it's something at least. It's something. It's something.
Anyway,
I appreciate what she does. I appreciate what she does.
Like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button because next we get the tag elimination round, and that starts off with Corbin and Cruz. And I wrote down, really, we're getting this shit again.
Before you go any
random
further,
tag teams.
Let me ask you this question: how come the last tag team champions, Waller and Theory, were not in this?
Because they had a thing later.
No shit. That's
why.
Was it later or before this? I think it might have been before.
Later. It was right after. It was right after.
Right after this? They should have been in the tag team tournament. Why not? They were the last tag team champions. They should have their rematch. They should have another shot.
If I never see those assholes team together again, it will be too soon. I want no part of the down under shit. The name's so long that I forget it every time they say it. I fall asleep when they finish saying it. Yeah, I fall asleep when they finish that shit. It's the worst name ever. Everything about this tag team sucks. The Grayson Waller character, go take a long walk off a short pier. That guy can go the hell away. I never want to see him again. Nothing about him is entertaining.
They got a new t-shirt out. A-Town Down Under. We can't suck enough.
Dude, I would buy that. I'd buy that. Just miserable shit.
Corbin and Cruz, from grace, dude. What a fall from grace for Austin Theory, by the way. He was Vince McMahon's number one guy. Theory. He was the number one guy for Vince.
He can do it all. He can talk. He can work. He looks like he's a slappable face, as they say. I like to punch him right in his face every time he starts talking. And they're going to make that guy a face. They're going to try to save this by making that guy, the one you want to beat the shit out of, they're going to make him a face. Anyway, back to this shit.
I hope they break up soon and feud, and they're in their own little corner of the WWE universe where they're feuding and no one's watching, and that's it. I mean, Theory's a good wrestler. Don't get me wrong. He is a good wrestler.
He is. I like Theory. I think he can do good promos, but him with this asshole ain't working. This ain't working for me, brah.
Well, neither is Corbin and Apollo Crews, but.
No, again, random ass tag team that makes no sense. But they
all of a sudden, I'm a face. I'm a face.
Yeah.
I'm a face. Hey, I'm a baby face now. I'm Baron Corbin. I'm a baby face.
And then I wrote more random ass shit comes out as Phantasma comes out. Corbin wins. Street Profits come out. Great suicide dive in the match. I thought that was pretty good. The dives were crazy. There were two at the same time, one from each member. I thought that was really good shit. Street Profits win.
Tope Suicida.
No, they actually called it a suicide dive. I wrote that down. They called it a suicide dive. Thank God. I wrote it down too.
Don't blow out your O-ring, pal. Don't blow out your O-ring. Relax, okay? Relax.
Dude, I was excited. They actually called it that. So, yeah, I had a moment there. I was like, oh, they did it. Pretty Awful comes out. I'm sorry, Pretty Deadly. That's her name, right? God, these guys suck. Is there anything about Pretty Awful that you want to watch ever again?
They were just presented as feckless metrosexual idiots. They couldn't hurt a fly. They need to do something like they need to be in some kind of feud where they're so pissed off they're actually going to cripple somebody. They get you to care about them, to hate them. I mean, outside of just hating them because they're feckless metrosexuals. It's just ridiculous.
Do you want to know the last pretty boy type role that I think actually worked in the WWE in this type of role, honestly?
The Valiant Brothers.
What the shit? No. No. Why?
What?
Why?
Who?
I'll give you a hint. He's
Who?
Canadian. He's Canadian. And he walked around with a perfume spray.
Rick Martel.
Rick Martel worked. They didn't present him as a feckless piece of shit, though. He looked like a guy that could kick your ass, but he presented himself in a pretty boy fashion. When you touched him, he was like, oh, God, don't touch me. But he would do dirty shit to win. Like, that's what's missing in all this shit that they're doing with these jackasses. This pretty awful shit is for the birds. God, make it go away.
It's not good. Not good, pal. Not good.
Well, I couldn't wait to get out of this. Thank God they went out there very long. Profits win this. And then the bloodline comes out.
Buddy, I'm not going to lie to you. I skimmed through this whole freaking thing.
Well, I watched where the bloodline came out because I was watching
I did
Jacob
see that.
too. Because I wanted to see this son of a bitch work. And I was not disappointed. Bloodline comes out. The crowd is chanting, we want Roman. Jacob came in and did one move at one point in the match and then got back out. I was like, oh, shit, don't tell me that's all I'm going to see out of him today. Like, don't tell me it's the one move and he's done and they win because he does some outside shit. But no, he got back in and he did some shit. Montez Ford and Jacob Fatu did some moves in this match that dropped my jaw. Jacob, every time Montez Ford runs to the ropes and dives over it and does the flip onto the guys outside, that will never get old to me because he doesn't do it all the time. He does it when it's special and it matters and something means something. He's not just out there doing the shit 35 times a match. He does it when it matters. So that shit got my attention. Jacob Fatu, good Lord. The everything.
What a guy.
The finisher, the damn flip off the rope, all of it. That finisher where he throws him up, catches him on his shoulders, and jacks him with the Samoan drop. My God, man. That looks
and then right into a moonsault. Right into a moonsault. Amazing.
I'm going to enjoy watching this guy, I can tell. I'm going to really enjoy watching this guy.
Especially when the Bloodline War ramps up. When that happens, it's going to be amazing. Great. It's going to be cinema, pal. Cinema, as the kids say.
Did you hear what he was yelling to, oh, shit, what's his name? The leader of the
Solo, I love you. My trouble.
Yes,
I love you.
He was yelling at him through the whole match. I love you, Solo. I love
Solo. You. Kiss me, Solo. I love you. Kiss me.
I don't know why, but that shit got me laughing because he was screaming at him like that. Like an out of control, crazy asshole. Just screaming at him in the middle of the match.
That man knows the drill, pal.
Gotta love it. Then you get the Down Under segment, and they call out Terrence Crawford. Austin Theory gets pushed up, and he gets knocked out. And I just thought, I wrote down, God, please get Austin Theory out of this. I don't want to see it anymore. They did the Rhodes interview.
Me, pal.
Yep. Then they did the Rhodes interview. I said, okay, I know where this is going. I don't need to see this. Then we had a Mr. Charlotte Flair moment with Caramel Hayes. We finally got that. They're going to have their rematch.
The Caramel Hayes?
Yeah, Caramel Hayes and Mr. Charlotte.
That's a Ben & Jerry's, isn't it? Isn't that Ben & Jerry's flavor? Caramel Hayes?
I don't know. I think it's shit flavored because that's what I think of his call up from NXT so far. It's been less than fun.
Less than stellar?
Dude, it ain't impressed me at all. Did it impress you?
No. I didn't like him in NXT. He's a good worker, but he's too small. He's Johnny Gargano size. He's too small.
Bailey came out and her partner got jumped. I think her name was Mai Chin or something like that.
Mai Chin?
What's her name?
My Chin? My Chin needs a trim.
I thought it was My Chin. That's what I thought I heard him say.
Me Chin.
Okay. Well, it's My Chin, your chin, who gives a shit?
Yes.
You say it's yours, I say it's mine. Anyway.
That's, by the way, pal, that's Mrs. Keith Lee to you.
Okay,
Mrs. Keith
well,
Lee.
I give two shits.
His contract's coming up soon in AEW. He might be there
Again,
with her in WWE.
She gives no chins about his contract. That's what I can tell you. None.
It's a wonder she hasn't dislocated hips from being married to Keith Lee. Good Lord Almighty. That's a big son of a bitch.
This match had one of the weirdest moments I can recall seeing, where Tiffany threw Bayley into the corner, and for whatever reason, Bayley, she like threw her into Nia Jax. I don't know if Bayley was supposed to look like she was attacking her or what the hell that was, but you just saw Nia Jax go, ah, shit, and she fell down like she had just gotten shot. What the hell was that?
That was a missed move by Bayley, is what that was.
I don't know what that was, but I just thought, man, get this shit over with. I fast forward. Jax pins Bayley. Dun, dun, dun.
It was the shits.
It was the absolute shit. I wanted to talk about something after this. You got anything else you want to add about SmackDown before we go on to the
I'm
next
glad it was over. I'm glad it was over. That's all I can say. I'm glad it was over. See, we're not WWE dick writers 24/7. Everyone says that. You guys just love the Fed, the Fed, WWE. No, we call it out when they're bad. And I didn't like that show this Friday night. I didn't care for it one iota. Except to what?
I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was as bad as a couple of the other ones we've seen, but it wasn't one of their best by far.
Right.
Do you have anything in the news department before I continue this next part? Because I want to talk about this road to WrestleMania with The Rock, because you haven't seen this, and I'm going to break this down because I couldn't believe the shit I was hearing and reading and watching.
Let's do 5 fast news items. Bret Hart says AEW declined his offer to work as an agent. They didn't want any parts of Bret Hart.
That.
Yes.
You know why?
Why is that? Because he's out of his mind?
He said he wanted to ride his bike, and they were like, bitch, you had a heart attack last time that shit happened. You ain't riding a bike out here.
He had a stroke. He had a stroke riding his bike.
So they went out there, they sent Shibata around the ring with a bike with a pipe, and Bret Favre got pissed about it.
He got a bicycle.
No, Bret Hart, look, dude, I like Bret Hart, but he hasn't been in the wrestling business in over 20 years. What the hell is he going to tell them? Like, that's the whole thing. Once you're out of the wrestling bubble for 20 years, you don't watch the product. What do you have to offer the guys and girls?
Not much, pal. Not much.
The most famous thing Bret Hart is known for is the Montreal screw job. It's not even a match. It's what happened after the fact.
Sure. Absolutely.
Please continue on your tirade.
Absolutely. I'm going to show the screen real quick. Hang on a second.
All right. While Bottles
Very good.
Uh-oh.
There it is. This is AEW and Adult Swim.
We showed this earlier.
Look at that crowd. Look at that crowd, pal. And they say AEW doesn't sell. They don't draw a crowd.
Tickets.
They are free tickets. Then we have this.
No, please don't do this to me. Please don't.
I'm going to do it to you, Don. I'm going to do it to you.
Please don't. How long is this fucking thing?
For weeks on AEW Dynamite every Wednesday on TBS. Ever since Forbidden Door, you've seen Dr. Britt Baker and the TBS champion Mercedes Moné going at it, arguing. I'm sick of it. Let's go, baby. I'd love to see that match. Let's go! Let's go! Let's fucking go! August 25th. Let's go! At Wembley Stadium in London, England. And AEW All In for the TBS Championship. It will be Mercedes Moné.
Please get this off. Please get rid of this. Please. God Almighty. As if we didn't know that was going to happen.
Buddy.
Like he's announcing shit we already knew was coming.
He is absolutely so socially awkward. I don't know what to say. He's so socially fucking awkward. Why would you have that man out there? Would Vince McMahon ever do that?
Yes.
Back in the heyday of WWE, would he be at San Diego Comic-Con hosting a fucking panel in front of 200 neckbeards. Would he?
No. He probably would have been in a women's stall shitting on something. I mean, probably. Allegedly.
Oh my God.
Come on in here, God damn it. Come in here.
Right! She's gonna piss. Come take pictures.
We got some soft ice cream going on in here. Come on. God,
Somebody get the fog machine. I'm gonna make it cool.
where's Hayes? Damn it.
Passed out the goddamn fountain again. I knew it. Somebody get P.S. Hayes out of the chocolate fountain.
That's it. I'm done. I'm done. I'm fucking done. Jesus Christ. Oh my God in heaven.
What other serious news do you have for us today?
Serious news? Okay, I've got it for you right now. Let me put it up for you, pal.
I've got one that you haven't touched on yet. Did you hear that Mace and Mansoor debuted on AEW Saturday night? Yeah, get that shit out of here.
That's the new Ass Clan champion
That's
from
enough.
AEW. That's
That's
Rick from Rick and Morty,
No, it's
who
not.
wrestled.
That's definitely not Rick.
No?
Mace and Mansoor debuted.
Yeah.
Eminem debuted on
MXM.
AEW Saturday night. They
MXM.
debuted.
Mm-hmm.
These were the same guys that got shit on in WWE, and for good reason. They suck.
Right.
And they debuted on the other company, and the AEW neckbeards are licking it up, boy. You're like, oh, all they needed was another chance, and they're going to be so awesome. No, they still suck. They still suck.
Say that again, just like that. Say that again.
It's impossible. I don't know how it said it. I don't know. So that was the other bit of news.
Say that again. You got to do it one more time.
What did I say?
Oh, it was so awesome in that voice. You
No,
can say
it's so awesome. They just needed another fresh start. And now I'm going to be on AEW. And my mom's going to give me a ride. It's going to be so good.
you know how many tweets I see on Twitter why I hear that voice reading those tweets in my head. It's
I
fucking
said
amazing.
Jeff Hardy was going to be the greatest wrestler ever, and I was pretty close. Why for that DUI, he'd be doing great.
Now they're trying to get back into NXT. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have. There's also
They want to go back
some
in NXT. Go ahead.
Did you hear about the Jeff Hardy news? He cried.
Christ's sake.
He cried.
What?
He cried. They offered him a spot in the Hall of Fame a couple of years ago without his brother.
And he turned it
cried
down.
because he turned it down. He said it wouldn't be right if I went in without him. He
Well,
said,
that very well may happen next year.
it may.
Yes, it very well may happen.
I'd be so excited.
I'd be so excited if Jeff Hardy was the Hall of Fame, Matt and Jeff Hardy. Oh my God. Bring him to NXT. They could be the tag team champions. They want to do that. They want to challenge for the tag.
No.
They
They never need to have another match as long as they live. Never. There's a
Good
couple other
Lord
news and
Almighty.
notes I'm going to get to here real quick. The Sphere in Vegas. The WWE is looking to possibly have a show at the Sphere in Vegas.
They have to get the Eagles out of the Sphere in Vegas first. They have a residency there right now.
They've got a fucking nest going on. Like, God damn it. They keep shitting on everything.
Joe Walsh is incontinent. He's 80 years old. He's incontinent.
Do you know who the lead singer is?
Don Henley.
Vince Gill.
No, Vince Gill does certain songs. Don
He's
Henley,
doing almost all the songs now because Don Henley's voice is shot.
No, Don Henley's lip syncing. Have you heard that?
Well, I have heard that. But that's why they brought on Vince
Thank you,
Gill
now.
was to do this shit.
Yes.
Anyway, there's also a new announcement on the Raw lineup for tomorrow night that I'm excited to talk about. Gunther versus Finn Balor.
Yes.
Woods versus Karrion Kross.
Yes.
Valkyria, Carter, and Chance versus the 3Ls. Sheamus versus Bronson Reed.
Ho. The 3 Ls?
That's what I'm going with. Figure it out. Read between the lines.
Lunger, liquor,
Nope.
labia. Okay.
Nothing like that. They got
Nothing like that at all. Okay.
Creed brothers versus Otis and Tozawa. And they got a Rollins segment where he's going to break down the rules.
Wait a minute. Creed brothers versus Otis and Tozawa?
That's what they're saying, yeah.
Okay. Hang on a second. Cook Hot Pockets during Creed versus Otis Tozawa. Okay. I got it right here. I got it marked down. Thanks. I appreciate the heads up on that.
By the way, everybody, thank you for watching tonight. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button. You got anything to say in the super chats? They are open. $1 here, $1 there. Say what you want to say. Appreciate
Dollar
you
everywhere.
guys. The Rollins segment's going to talk to both CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. They may have a little segment there where shit goes sideways.
Sure.
So I'm excited about that. MJF also talked about his injuries before he took a sabbatical from AEW for the first time. Openly talked about how completely fucked up he was.
He was.
You had talked about it where he had dislocated his hip on that elbow drop to the apron. And he said,
on Jay White.
Actually happened.
On Jay White.
Yes, on Jay White. And said Jay White came off the rope in the match with an elbow and hit him, and he tore his labrum in his shoulder, which, by the way, I've actually got a torn labrum in my right shoulder, so I know what that's about. It hurts like hell. If you don't have surgery, you can live life without it, but it ain't going to get no better. Trust me. I'm just saying.
I got two. I tore this one, and I tore this one.
Put your hands
I
up.
never had surgery.
Put your hands up. All right. Good for you.
Yeah, never had surgery. Just did a little physical therapy, and I was good to go. They weren't completely torn, Don, just partially torn. So,
but one of my right is gone. So, anyway,
well,
that's
if you left out one thing, and I want to roll this back a little bit. You said there was some CM Punk stuff at SDCC, San Diego Comic-Con, as the kids say, that you wanted to talk about.
Yep, I'm glad you brought that up. So apparently, Zoe Stark was all excited because she was getting like her first major toy. And she had it on stage and she was talking about it. And you could actually go see it.
There's a whole panel of WWE stars there.
So she's all excited and CM Punk's talking to her. And I can't make out what they're saying, but they're saying something. And he puts his arm around her to give her a little friendly hug. And she
was crying.
gets all well, that's not it yet. She doesn't start crying yet. She's holds up the toy, and you can tell she's starting to get real emotional because it really means a lot to her. And that's when he brings her in for a real good hug. Like, you earned it. Don't get upset about it. This is a good thing. Be happy right now. Don't be sad. Like, be happy.
Sure.
And the neckbeards went insane and were ripping him and calling him creepy and asking why he's hugging them all the time and why is he so hands-on with the women and this and that. And there's just something wrong with these people in life, man. They go get laid, meet a woman, talk to them. My God, they're not a foreign concept. Yes, do some of that. But the reactions to it,
for God's sake,
the reactions to it are completely insane. Like, he's just trying to, hey, let's get through this. I can tell you're about to get emotional. Let's be happy about this. Meanwhile, on the other channel, Tony Khan hugs anybody that'll give him 2 minutes of life. Tony Khan will hug a fire hydrant if he thought he could get an emotional support from it. He hugs everybody uncontrollably. He hugged the new guy, the Sub-Zero guy on Saturday night after his match. He came out and hugged that son of a bitch. The new guy gets all the hugs.
Hologram.
Sub-Zero, like I said.
He put his arms around a hologram.
Yes, that's crazy that he caught him.
Yes, he hugged Okada when he signed Okada. Okada was in his suit. He hugged Okada like he was his long-lost grandfather. And he was so close to Okada, he could count the change in his pocket without using his hands. That's how close he was to Okada.
I got no words to talk about these people and how they reacted over this. I mean, it's just.
That's why you're a neckbeard psychologist. You deal with these people on a daily basis.
Get help. All of you get help. It's okay to hug people. That happens in life when you're friends with people. They need a support every now and then. You can hug them. You don't have to hug them if you're the boss. Like, that's some HR shit that might be coming down the pike later. That's some Vince McMahon shit.
Right.
First you're
Don't
hugging,
say shit.
then you're kissing,
Don't
then
say
you're
shit.
groping.
Man, in the same sentence.
That's what I'm saying. Then you're in a limo getting all kinds of fellatios done.
Folks, welcome to the Square Circle Maniacs podcast. We appreciate you showing up. We've been sponsored by scatlovers.com. Go to scatlovers.com for the best if you're a scat enthusiast.
2 girls, 1 cup.
Thanks, asshole.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about the road to WrestleMania because I finally watched this. If you know, you're going to know what it is just because I'm going to say all the crazy ass memes that have been coming out with The Rock with, and then I did this, and then I did that. That's what this comes from.
Is that YouTube or Peacock? By the way?
YouTube.
Okay.
Which, by the way, good Lord, with the commercials on this thing, it was like every minute and a half there was another commercial. I swear to God. I don't know what it is, but.
How long is it, Don? An hour long?
It's an hour.
Okay.
It's an hour long. So I said, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to watch this because I'm tired of seeing the memes and I've got to see this. And there's something I want to talk about right now that doesn't get talked about enough when it comes to Roman Reigns. Him getting his teeth capped were the best decision he's ever done. They look great. Them veneers look amazing. Looks like a different guy when you go back and look at him 10 years ago. Looks like a totally different guy. Teeth are great. Got $1 million smile now. I noticed that first thing right away. They also showed the new headquarters of WWE. This is the first time I've seen the new headquarters. You know they moved, right?
From Titan Towers to the new headquarters.
Yes. They moved to a new headquarters, and it looked, I don't know if it is smaller, but it sure looks like it's a much smaller building compared to the one they were in. Titan Tower looked massive. This thing looks about half that size, but there was an adjoining building next to it, so I'm wondering if it's connected to that building because there was a breezeway there. I'm not quite sure.
That building next to is a sewage treatment plant. They had that there for Vince.
Well, I mean, probably. They let off with Triple H, and they cut to Cody, and it was all about the promise he made to the fans. Like, that's what he was talking about was, I want to finish my story dialogue. Triple H, by the way, in this whole thing,
yes,
they had the storyline planned from the word go. This was his plan, was to have them finish this. And I just want to get through the down and dirty of it. The Rock is completely out of his mind because he comes in saying, yeah, we wanted the dream match, which would be me and my cousin. It wanted to be me and Roman Reigns. That was the dream match that we thought would happen.
Is The Rock full of himself?
I have never seen a guy more full of shit in my life than I did watching this. He tried to take over.
He tried to take over the DC Entertainment Universe on film when he filmed Black Adam. He had him and his agents and his lawyers all ready to be. He wanted to be the Kevin Feige of the DC movie universe, where they were going to build it all around his character, Black Adam. That's how psychotic he is. No one talks about this enough, Don. Go on. He's a lunatic.
He's out of his fucking mind when this thing is all said and done. The Rock is out of his mind. The dream match with Roman. Triple H comes in and says, okay, that was an option, I guess, if we wanted to go that way. But we've been sort of building this in the company for the past year. Like we decided last year that over the course of the next year, we were going to heat Cody Rhodes back up to get to this point. And you can tell his frustration is palpable throughout this thing. He is the perfect guy for this spot. He is being completely politically correct. He's not stepping on anybody's toes. He's doing his job. And this is what Triple H says when they get back to this. Oh, this is all right. This is going to be the bigger match. And Triple H says that could possibly be a bigger match outside of our universe. But then what? Like, this is not what our core fans want to see. This is what he wants to see. And then The Rock refers himself as the director of the board. That's what he refers to himself as when he got hired on. Well, they brought me on as director of the board. He referred to himself as the leader of the whole thing.
And they let that go out in a video, in an official video.
Don't forget, this was supposed to come out right after Mania. It just came out a couple of weeks ago. How bad was The Rock then the first time they had to edit it to make it look this way? Like, it had to be
did they cut out? Yeah, how much did they cut out? Wow.
My God. The Rock comes in the day he joins the board of directors. They tour the new building. He gets a look at Bob Backlund's belt. He wants to pose with the belt and take a picture with Triple H. It shows him later. They're walking the aisleways. He's got Bob Backlund's belt holding it as they go down the hallways. Like he's just going to take it home. Like it's his own personal prop now.
Like you're just going to steal it.
Yeah. It's like, what in the hell is going on
here?
Come
on, man.
They go back to Cody Rhodes. Triple H told him that The Rock versus Roman might happen. He tells him this on Royal Rumble Day. He says, hey, look, this is a real thing that they're talking about now. But he still had Cody Rhodes win the Royal Rumble because he was like, this is still going to happen. You're going to win this, and I'm going to stick it. This is how I took it. Triple H said, yeah, you want to come in here and make this all about you, huh, Rock? You want to come back in my business and make all of it. Okay, watch this. Cody Rhodes going to win this son of a bitch, and you watch what happens after this. He knew this was going to backfire. There's no way I don't believe Triple H didn't know this was going to blow up in his face.
I haven't seen this show. What did The Rock think if he was going to actually fight Roman and win the belt and then disappear? Disappear for 6 months. How would they do that? How do you do business like that?
He honestly thought that the fans would get behind this because when he comes out and says that line, do you want to see me at the head of the table? The fans went crazy, right? They went nuts.
Crazy.
And then on the following Raw, they were, if you remember, they were mad as shit. For 72 hours, Cody Rhodes trends on Twitter. They're so angry about this. The immediate knee-jerk reaction was, oh, this is amazing. And then it was, wait a fucking minute. You're here for a cup of coffee and you're going to tell me the guy I've been rooting for the past 2 years is suddenly out of this, son of a bitch? I don't think so. And that's when The Rock, holy shit, The Rock says, so that's what I called Khan. And I called blah, blah, blah. And I called blah, blah, blah. And said, I don't think that I want these fans being mad at me. He legitimately wants you to believe through this whole process that at every turn, it was his decision on where the booking should go. That's how he comes off in this entire documentary. And Cody Rhodes talks about when he comes out on SmackDown to say, I'm not going to fight you at the Royal Rumble. He said, I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to have a smile on my face. I'm not going to be happy about this. I'm not going to be out there, shaking hands and kissing babies. Like, I'm not happy about this. This is my moment, and it's being taken from me. And I think if you go back and look at that, you can tell he is not happy, man. He is not happy about any of this. Go back and rewatch some of those moments. He's pissed, and it's coming off, and you can see he's pissed, which the fans picked up on. Like, man, fuck The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Mr. Fast and Furious. Go back to Hollywood. We don't need you here. But then The Rock says, you know something, pal? They're not buying me. I need to do something else. It's insane.
I need to go heel, full heel.
Dude, he is flipping this shit left and right, trying to get you to buy that all of this was his idea, and he saw it was a bad idea and got completely out of this thing. I have been waiting weeks to watch this. I'm glad I did.
At one point in time, he was the biggest star in Hollywood. The biggest star in Hollywood. Wrap your head around that. And then he fell from grace. Some bad, I guess you would say, bad booking decisions, bad career decisions, bad politics to talk about, bad people to get behind, bad causes to back, bad movies he made, and he fell from grace, so to speak. And that's why he went back into professional wrestling.
Also,
and now, He recovered though. He recovered though. Biggest heel on SmackDown.
Why do all of the grown men that I see that are CEOs or on the board of directors, why do they all wear these shitty plastic bracelets? Like there's like 5 of them on their hands. They all got like ropes and shit. Why are grown men wearing these shitty bracelets? That's a serious question.
9 times out of 10, they've got like little messages written on there. Like I've got one that my wife gave me. I'm wearing one that says, "I love you more than ever" on the inside of the bracelet. So it's things like that. And a lot of people have, remember little, what'd you just say?
You ever throw it at her? Remember that woman?
You son of a bitch.
No, I'm serious though. No, Roman,
there's a lot of charity. There's a lot of charity bracelets. A lot of people used to sell charity bracelets where they were elastic and they were like day glow or bright color, and it was stretched. You put them on your arm, one size fits all, and it would say, "I support I support breast cancer awareness," or "I support autism awareness," whatever. And you would like donate, like you would buy it for like $5, and that money would go towards the cause.
You know what I see when I see those shitty bracelets? You're wearing a shitty bracelet. You're wearing a shitty bracelet. It's like ropes and shit, man. Like Triple H has got like 15 of them, just halfway down to his elbow.
They're Hindu prayer beads, is what they are.
I don't think
my hand of God. I looked them up. online.
I don't think that's where they're going.
Prayer beads. Hindu
beads for prayer.
Yeah, could be. Could be. Well, Vince used to wear beads on his wrist.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like
anal beads.
He learned from the best. You're
anal
picking
beads,
up what I'm laying down a little bit slower than I thought, but yes, that was where I was going with that.
Yes.
Anyway, The Rock wants you to believe.
This conversation just took a turn for the worse. Go ahead.
The Rock wants you to believe that it was his idea to come up with the tag match as well. That was his idea. Just ask him.
Why not? Why not? He's the best in the world, Don.
I swear to God.
Best in the world, Don. Just
at that
like
point,
just ask him. He'll tell you. He'll tell you it was a great idea. He'll tell you.
And he would not shut. I'm going to leave it on this so you can cue the music here in a minute. But the final boss character that he says he told people about. Oh shit, Johnny Fingers is
right
back.
there. There's the final boss. Johnny Fingers
fighting that guy. He said that the final boss was his idea, and that everybody was so on board. They're like, "This is the greatest idea ever." I have no words for the amount of shit this guy was saying on this. He was so full of himself. The final boss is more over in his mind than Tony Khan is in his own mind. That's how far gone The Rock is on this shit. Dwayne Johnson is gone.
His confidence level is stratospheric.
My God.
Through the roof. Through the roof.
So that was the WrestleMania walk up to WrestleMania that I could not believe I was watching live go down. No wonder it took so many months to come out. If that was the good portion of The Rock, I cannot imagine what Dwayne said that they cut out. Holy shit. Anyway, that's all I've got tonight on a Sunday Night, Bottles.
He said,
you got anything else? Because that's it.
At one point in time, he said, "I gave Vince my login credentials for scatlovers.com." And he just abused it. I was getting all kinds of spam email. I got one more thing, Don.
I believe. Hey, you want to hear my new thing I found out? It's just in my head. Can I say it? You ready? Yeah. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
A Joe Hendry fan in the NFL, pal.
I mean, look, wrestling's getting big again when you start to see the NFL guys start to
talk about a guy like Joe Hendry. A guy like Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry. He's not a household word, Don. Not a household word.
He is now, because you've got to believe.
I guess so. You got to believe in Joe Hendry. You know who's a household word? Not a word.
What is happening over there on your front porch right now? Which, by the way, as you can see, the magic windows are at work.
Yeah, of course. You said, Sherry, hit the switch. Turn the lights out. The magic windows. It's bright and sunny down here in Florida, pal. It's 91 degrees, pal. It's fantastic.
Household world. What the fuck?
Household world. The world, yes.
Oh, I'm gonna
Have you seen these guys? New tag team coming to AEW? Have you seen those guys?
Jesus
We're coming to AEW, pal. We're coming for
doing
them.
it. We're coming
We're
in
coming
hot.
for
You don't
FTR.
want
There
none
we
of this-
are.
You don't want the smoke.
You don't want to smoke these mother effers. There we
Thank
are.
you once again very much, Mike Digital. Your work is never underappreciated. It is absolutely tremendous.
Yes, absolutely. Folks, we're on a slow climb to 1,000. I'm going to give you a tally right now.
I want to thank you all for watching tonight.
468 people have watched this show so far.
Well, they've done something with it anyway.
They've done something with their free time on a Sunday.
Yes.
I guess
What are these two
they're waiting for Family Guy to come on, and they're just killing time with us. So, is the Olympics?
I want
on
to
right
thank
now?
you all for watching. The Olympics have been on, pal. They haven't gone away yet. I haven't watched a moment. I do not give a shit.
I'm waiting for the drag queen swim meet. I'm waiting for that to happen, to come up.
Until Chris Jericho gets the goddamn sport of professional wrestling in the Olympics, it's not worth the gold medal it's plated on.
He's trying. He's doing his best to get that in there.
He's trying his best to be a
his
rock
best.
singer, too. How's that working out?
Yes. Well, he's big in Europe. Very big in Europe.
His own mind.
He's big in Russia, big in Poland. That's all I can say. Folks, we're doing
They
a slow
don't speak
climb
language.
we're doing a slow climb to 1,000. We're trying to get to 1,000.
What the hell are you saying? I don't know. I don't care.
I don't know what we're at right now. Do you know offhand how many we're at right now?
No. We were at
I don't know either.
907 this morning.
All I know is we have more viewers than we have subscribers. We like to flip that and have more subscribers than we have viewers. We want to make that long climb past 1,000. So if you can help
We're
us
getting
out,
close. I want to thank you all.
costs no money to subscribe. Just remember that. Give us a wriggling and a diggling so you know when we're having the next show. What's the next show, Don?
Thursday will be the next show. We're going to come back hot.
Coming in hot right after AEW
we might-
Dynamite.
I can tell you that SummerSlam is Saturday, so we're going to have to do a preview Thursday for the Saturday show. And I can tell you we'll probably come back here next Sunday to do the SummerSlam post show.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
Thank you all again. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button. Bottles, take us home, pal.
I know a guy who said he never subscribed to this channel.
Till next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.